Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. And welcome to From the Basement in Tulsa. I'm Jason Ferguson. I'm here with the Kayfabe. Let's check out their song, Fallen Hero.
Yeah.
All right.
Come back down to the ground. You've been slinging too long. Your heart is gold, your mind is rust. Within the city you roam, but not to save us. Is there something wrong with me? Oh, is it something that I can change? And I see holes all through your armor. Is there a way to take you from here? My hero is falling, falling down. My hero is falling, falling down. And nothing can change it or turn things around. My hero is falling to the ground. The broken homes, the cries, the moans. We've been living here too long. I'm a slave to fear. My mind ain't clear. You can see the tracks of my tears. And is there something wrong with me? Oh, why can't I seem to look at myself? I don't know what's become of me, no. Is there a way to take me from here? My hero is falling, falling down. My hero is falling, falling down. And nothing can change it or turn things around. My hero is falling to the ground. No mind control, no laser beams, no gamma rays, no super strength, no razor claws, no lasting health. You're all alone, I'm by myself. No mind control, no laser beams, no gamma rays, no super strength, no razor claws, no lasting health. You're all alone, I'm by myself. No mind control, no laser beams, no gamma rays, no super strength, no razor claws, no lasting health. You're all alone, I'm by myself. No mind control, no laser beams, no gamma rays, no super strength, no razor claws, no lasting health. You're all alone, I'm by myself. My hero is falling, falling down. My hero is falling, falling down. And nothing can change it or turn things around. My hero is falling to the ground.
Incredible. I'm so glad to have you guys here. Dudes,
Man, thank you for having us.
introduce yourselves to these wonderful listeners we have.
Okay, well, my name is Chris Gazaway,
Hi, I'm William Sutherland.
Wow.
and we are the Kayfabe.
The Kayfabe. Can I call you the KeyFob forever?
The
Sure.
KeyFob?
Is that the first? You guys are. This is a new project.
Yes.
A new, at least newer. And am I the first one to come up with a stupid thing for your name?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think that's probably the first time.
Yeah,
You know?
that's great.
It's the most memorable anyway.
Yeah.
I mean-
Hashtag the KeyFob.
Yeah,
I like
I'm
it.
into it. Well, hello, dudes. Tell me about that song we just listened to.
Fallen Hero. That's the one that we introduced to everybody first, and I think it has the most mass appeal to it. It's poppy, it's probably the most poppy thing I've ever been on, as far as music goes.
Yeah, I was surprised when I downloaded it. You were just like, "Hey, dude, we're releasing this album." I was like, "I'm gonna go buy it," and then I bought it, and I was like, "Whoa, this isn't what I'm used to with Chris."
Yeah. It was a new thing for me, like, because I've been a rapper for the past 10 years, so I just wanted to try it. Once I did the Idol thing, it gave me a little more confidence to like try to do the singing, and
yeah, that's good.
so I just tried my hand at it. And when you have Will Sutherland to write with, it makes your job a lot easier too. So
Yeah, I'm a real stickler too on all that stuff. With the new record, it's extremely pop, but that's really our background. We've done different things with the rap and metal and things like that, but I always kind of come back to pop music, and that's what the record really is. And there's been some mixed reviews. Some of our buddies and close friends are like, I don't really like these songs. It's different, but I think the general consensus is they like the direction we've taken with this.
How fun is it for you to play?
Oh, great time. We've only played one legitimate live show. Our first performance was on Channel 8's Good Morning or Good Day Tulsa.
yeah,
That's a freaking great way to start.
Well, it was. It was very unorthodox for us because we're used to grinding in the clubs, like most of our other friends here in Tulsa.
There's a song about that on the album too, right?
yeah.
That there is. Yeah. Absolutely. Actually, co-written too. One of our buddies, PDA.
Oh, nice.
Takes credit on
Jenkins.
Jenkins, yeah.
Yeah,
PDA, he died last year or something. Rest in peace, PDA.
yeah. But that's a fun song too.
I first heard of Jenkins. I think it was on Reddit, and
Oh, wow.
Somebody shared this video on Cherry Street, and he's just being crazy as shit.
Oh
on
yeah,
Cherry
walking
Street.
around.
Yeah,
I
and
think it was like drunk
I
or
was like,
something.
good for you, man. That's cool. Yeah, co-wrote.
Yeah, he
We supplied
pretty much-
the beat, really, and we kind of reworked it, changed the arrangement up a little bit, added guitars and things over, because originally it was just a beat that he had put together in Reason or Logic or whatever he uses.
Yeah, kind of bare bones. And he was like, hey, you guys should redo this or, make something of this. So I was like, sweet.
Sweet indeed. And it's called the Denver Sessions. We should say that.
Yeah, yes. Hashtag the Denver Sessions.
Oh, nice. You put a hashtag in the title.
Yeah, I figured it would be good marketing. Like, you already have your hashtag right there if people talk about it at all. So.
If they talk about it, they're going to have to hashtag the Denver Sessions. That fails.
That's funny.
Well, hello, dudes. Welcome to the basement. Listeners, I just bought 2 freaking new microphones, so we're going to be learning how to use them.
Oh, they look great.
They sound great,
It
too.
sounds so
And
much
if,
better.
if they come up missing, like when we leave here, that's totally coincidental.
Oh, yeah, well,
It wasn't us.
probably not.
And then he hears our new podcast later.
Oh, let me give a shout out to Jason.
Yeah,
He hooked us up with these sweet mics.
he just didn't know it.
Yeah,
good.
we
Good
just
stuff.
we're coming home from a Friendsmas-giving, or like, that was
yeah.
last night. And
Yeah,
now it's today,
I'm
but-
still hungover.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought we were gonna have to call this one like from a hospital bed on dialysis.
That was a good time, though. Did you have
Yeah,
a good
man,
time?
a lot of
last night?
fun. A lot of people hanging out. A lot of musicians.
Yeah, David Castro popped in there at the end.
Oh man, thank you, David, for those freaking deviled eggs.
Oh, yeah.
Did you try those?
I ate like 6 of them.
Wasn't there? What was in them? It was
It's like
something.
Bacon
they-
bits or something.
Oh yeah, it was,
They were
Freaking-
great. And
Yeah.
I love the deviled egg, too. And that was by far the best deviled egg.
I'm
I've
sure
ever
it was.
had. Sorry, Mom.
It was probably Bethany that made them. Let's get real. I don't see David in the kitchen a lot.
No, she
But I
said they were
could be wrong.
David's famous
Oh really?
deviled eggs.
Oh well.
But she's also a sweet girl, so she might lie.
Yeah, she
These
might.
are David's. He needs the confidence.
Yeah. Like that guy needs any more pats on the back.
Or
This
worse.
sweet voice.
Yeah, he's a great
Or
great
worse, he would
musician.
be too jealous of all of his guy friends knowing she's a great cook. So she was like, he told her, you know what? I did these.
Yeah, that's good. Got to keep them in line.
Getting into David's relationship right now. Let's talk about it.
Let's keep
All
it
right,
breezy.
yeah. Let's talk about David and his life.
And that's track 2 on the Denver Sessions.
Yes.
David, it's called David's Relationship. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. We talked about podcasts. We talked about a bunch of ridiculous stuff yesterday. And you mentioned American Idol.
Yeah.
Can you tell that story? Is it something you want to let go of, or do you want to?
I think I'm allowed to speak about it now. So, it was an experience. It was fun. I don't really have any bad things to say about it because going into it, I knew it was just like a crapshoot at best, and it's a TV show. It's not a talent show, or I probably wouldn't have made it as far as I fucking did. Like, there was, is there cursing allowed on this show? It's the internet. Okay, but yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, basically, because I showed up at the first audition, the cattle call with 10,000 people, you know, and I show up with my wrestling gear on, because I was still wrestling at the time, and I had a luchador mask, so I had that on, because I was purposely wanting to get their attention, you know, because people that dress outrageous, they'll get sent through to the next rounds, you know, and they don't even have to have talent. But, you know, I like popped up the mask right whenever I got up and did like Michael Jackson's The Way You Make Me Feel, and they were like, wow, I was surprised. I thought you were going to be a big joke, but you actually sounded pretty decent. Like, it's worth going to the next round. And, you know, like a month later, you go through another round with producers you don't know, somehow made it through again, then to the executive producer round, and like the Nigel Lithgow, he was the main executive producer. He didn't like me, but like Ken Warwick liked me, and two other guys, so I didn't really need Nigel's approval. I never had it.
Suck it, Nigel.
And then, you know, finally you go to the celebrities, and I had like Randy Jackson fucking hated me. He was like, I thought the singing was terrible, dog, and the rap was just kind of okay, because I did Billionaire by Bruno Mars, but I wrote a rap for it. Mm-hmm. So, like, I do that. Well, Nicki Minaj was like, I thought the singing was good, and, you know, your rap, that was awesome. And then Keith Urban agreed with her, and he's like, you know, I don't even think you need to hide behind the rap, you know, you can just be a singer. You got a unique voice or something. And Nicki's like, I don't think he hides behind the rap. I think he just raps and sings. That's what he does. And Mariah Carey, she was like, well, I'm not really into the whole rap and singing thing, because, you know, Nicki Minaj and her were feuding at the time. And
I actually didn't know that.
No, yeah. Yeah, because nobody watches that show, right?
Yeah, I was like, those people were judges?
They were, they were feuding that year, so, you know, Nicki sings and raps, so I only assumed she was saying that because she was taking a stab at Nicki through me. Yeah,
thanks.
She might not like me anyway, but you know what? I'm not jamming her albums either, so kiss my ass, Mariah Carey. So anyway, I get to Hollywood, and I'll go out with some Tulsa friends out there, like Andy Ingram. He used to play here in Tulsa with, I don't know what band. Like, he was in our band at one point for a while. And Neil Tiemann, he was in Midwest Kings and David Cook's band and all that shit. I go out drinking with them the night before the Hollywood audition. Because keep in mind, the whole time I'm like, I'm not going to make it, you know, any further, so I might as well get a free trip to visit my friends. So we get blasted, and then I go buy a bottle of Jack at the end of the night so I could have it for tomorrow, because me and some of the other Idol contestants, we would, during the audition, even Cree Harrison, the runner-up, we would, like, put whiskey in Coke bottles during our waiting, you know, because there was so much of that. So we'd just be chugging them, popping pills. I mean, I'm sorry if fucking Cree Harrison's people, like, sue me or whatever, but whatever. Bitch, don't act like you weren't smoking all my cigarettes and shit. So, out in Hollywood, I get, like, I'm hungover. I wake up with a cameraman in my room, and my roommate out there is, like, trying to wake me up. He was the singing doctor on the show. I finally wake up. I just go straight down to the area because I was late to the meeting, and I didn't have shoes on. They're like, holy shit, where are your shoes? And I was like, I just left them upstairs. They're like, well, can you go out and come back in so we can film it?
That?
I was like, yeah, sure, why not? It never made the cut. I get to the line to go into the theater where we were auditioning, and up to this point, they never did bag checks or anything, so I had my bottle of whiskey in there, and they end up finding it, and they're like, the Duke, taking it out, like, you can't take this in there. And I'm like, oh shit. They're like, cause it's kind of like a school, I guess.
Oh.
Where they were. And they're like, you can put it in your car. I was like, well shit, I showed up on that big ass bus over there. And they're like, well, we're gonna have to take it, so. that was kind of awkward because there's all the idol people in the cameras and shit. I'm like, oh, I look like such a drunk. I'm already hungover as fuck, acting like an asshole. May have had a few Xanax in my system to calm my nerves, but yeah. So I go do the audition. Did the what was it? The Sugar We're Going Down or something like that. Fall Out Boy. They drop a heart. Yeah.
This guy had a little paper cut out heart.
Yeah, I had a.
Yeah.
And I dropped, yeah. Well, long story short, I still had Nicki Minaj and Keith Urban on my side, but ultimately I got voted out by Nigel Lithgow. He was the guy to be able to say, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
He never was a fan, and I'm pretty sure after the alcohol situation, he was like, yeah, this guy's a liability. Let's get his ass out of here.
This guy would make great TV. I don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely.
They're too afraid. I mean, maybe I'm not
Well, they can suck
mainstream
it because
enough.
you're about to be making great podcast material.
Absolutely.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
glad you guys are here.
I'd rather
Thanks
be
for
here
having
than on Idol. So yes, thank you.
I've tried out a couple times. The first time, man, like, it was the first time I don't know, I had so much hope. I was like 22. I'd been singing like a week, and I was like, I'm gonna go try out for American Idol. My friend said I'm awesome, and I was learning to sing. I was getting pretty decent, and I was like telling my job to fuck off. I was like packing up my tools. I was like, I'm going to Idol, bitches. You know what I mean?
Eat dicks.
So my brother and I like took a road trip, 10 hours or something, and I was convinced. I was like, man, this is my shot. This is my ticket.
My gosh.
I had a song prepared, and then I decided like that song was too hard, so I went with an easier one. And I don't know why. I've tried out for like 3 shows, and all 3 times I was gonna sing One Republic Apologize, which I've covered forever and sing pretty well all the time. But there, I was like, oh, it's too hard. I'm gonna fuck it up. So I changed it to something stupid, and then the first time there was like a 15-year-old. Like I didn't know. People listening might not know that. It's not like you go to the judges. You go to a warehouse, like a cattle field, and they test you. They audition you like 40 people at a time. Same way for you, like 4 people at a time, 10 booths.
Yeah.
And so I walked up. Somebody else sang first, and like somebody talked me into trading them. So like I would have been last, but I traded this girl. She's like, "Oh, could you trade me spots?" And I was oblivious that I was giving up like an awesome audition spot. Mm-hmm. So the first girl sings. They're like, no. She starts bawling and turns around, and I'm just like stepping up to audition and like trip over this crying girl. And they're like, all right, sing. And I was like, okay, thanks. Next. Like, that was that. I was like, oh man. And so the next couple times it was just for fun because they came to Tulsa several years later, and I was already on the road playing music, and I was more confident. I had quit smoking. So, like, my voice was getting better, but I started smoking again that weekend because I was, like, playing gigs back to back and started drinking. Yeah. So, like, so there I am smoking cigarettes. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm not American Idol ready. But the voice, I don't remember where. I think we went to Houston or Austin or something. My brother and I took another trip, maybe. Yeah. Man, my brother's a badass.
I can't
driving me everywhere. And it was fun. Like, the voice was really fun.
I remember you talking about that one, yeah.
It was a lot of... I don't know. I just had fun, and then I didn't make it, obviously. But I don't know. Did you see the contracts? They're ridiculous.
Oh, I had to fill the ones out. Yeah, after you make it to Hollywood, they send you home with like a stack that, well, people can't see me. I'm holding my hands up, but it's thick. It's like a huge textbook.
It's like as thick as a car tire.
Yeah. Like, and just reading it, it's such repetitive bullshit. And I mean, they want the names of your last 5 girlfriends or relationships.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember you letting me look at that, in addition to like the background check that they were doing on you.
Yeah.
Now, whether he was sweating it or not, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, they were asking very personal questions, just in regards to, like you said, like past girlfriends and things. And why was it, do you think they were asking that?
They're probably looking into that because, like if you sent a dick pic out, like a text or something. Yeah,
They want to put it on TV, of course.
Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, I thought a lot of it was intrusive, and they want your family, like they want all of your family's like info and shit. So I lied on a lot of that and said I had no contact whatsoever with my family, just because I didn't want to have to like get their signatures for shit that I don't even see them a lot anyway. So it's like I just want to keep them out of this as much as possible. And yeah, so I did. I was really trying to protect my privacy pretty much from them. But I mean, right when you go, like, okay, you do the audition, they say you're going to Hollywood, then you go wait in this room, you fill out this like 170 page question of like, are you crazy? Have you thought about suicide? And then once you finish that, you go talk to like a detective guy that's like a background check guy. And then you go see a psychiatrist. I mean,
No
all
kidding.
in this same day, like, boom, 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 go to here, go here. And then the psychiatrist guy or whatever, he asks you questions and asks you what your religion is or sexual orientation and shit. And I'm just like, what the fuck's the point of this? Why do you guys need to know any of this? Like, but I guess that's Hollywood. That's TV.
Yeah, I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be finding out in a little bit.
And it's so funny that you said that you weren't what American Idol is looking for, because I don't know what the guy's name is, but the last year's
I know.
he kind of looked similar to him. I was
Yeah,
like, shit.
I've heard that several times, and I
can't
didn't
remember.
even know. I was like, you guys are crazy, and then I looked at it, and even myself, I was like, that dude looks just like me.
Yeah, it's uncanny. It is uncanny.
Were you like you were like watching and you're like, holy shit, am I on American Idol?
No, I never watched it. I don't know. I don't know if I even watched it past the first season. I don't know if I've even never seen more than a
See,
few
I
minutes.
didn't get
of The
into
Voice.
it until like Daughtry. Daughtry, when I saw him,
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this guy's good. He's got a great voice. I mean, I don't really dig, all the butt rock kind of nickelbacky
Yeah.
shit, but I respect his voice. And Adam Lambert was probably my favorite though, because he was so flamboyant and awesome. And I'm just into that kind of shit. So,
Obviously, my favorite is the best looking one.
yeah.
Whatever his name is. Looks just like me. Will, talk to me, man. What have you been up to?
Music, work.
Yeah?
That's really been about it. Music and work.
Do you have about $20?
I have $20, but I have to pay somebody back the 20 that's in my wallet. I owe it to somebody else. No. That's really been about it. We were in the process of getting our business up and going with Gibson Inglewood Entertainment. We're very fortunate with Bobby Gibson and Alan Inglewood for the support and the help they're giving us.
Good dudes.
We're in the process too. In addition, we are actually working on a podcast ourselves. We put it on the back burner.
Get that shit to the front burner, baby.
We're trying to. We
need
really are. That's like the next thing on our to-do list. But it's just the biggest point was just getting the record done, coming home, getting ready to put it out and market it and promote it. And we've been spending a lot of time really just honing in on our business skills and just trying to develop or diversify our portfolio. We're trying not to just offer just music. We're really trying to increase our video exposure as well as the podcast. And just trying
Video
to
podcasts.
yeah, and we're just trying to develop a lot of content.
Let's step back.
Sure.
I'm thinking you guys did this too. A lot of times when people come over to From a Basement in Tulsa, they're like, whoa, this is a basement. And I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't know. But I'm going to do the same thing to you guys. Did you record the Denver sessions in Denver?
A suburb of Denver.
Yeah.
A suburb of Denver.
I think it's technically called Lone Tree, but yeah, it's like
Yeah.
right there. And
I mean, Denver's in. You could throw a rock and hit
Yeah.
the Rocky Mountains.
So yes, I'll edit that to yes.
Yes.
But we recorded in a room really about this size. It was
It's
just
with Connor, right?
with
Yeah.
Connor McFarlane. Absolutely. I mean, a tremendous producer.
What the heck? That dude hit me up one time asking me if I want to be part of his Beatles tribute. And I think that came out like 5 years ago. And I'm just remembering that he hit me up for that and we never did it. What the heck, Connor?
Jeez, Connor.
We got to re-release that shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah, I could definitely see you being a part of that too. That would have been right up.
Man,
right up
and
the alley.
it took him a couple years to actually put it out. He got into that mode where he just either was too busy working or
It's probably because I didn't make it in American Idol. I was like, fuck that guy.
yeah. He's like,
He's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But go, tell me about recording, man. How was it?
It was a great time. I'd like to begin. We left. Was it? It was over the summer, right? Later.
yeah, well, yeah, it was like mid-August.
Yeah, we rented a van and drove up there. We should stay the night with my dad in Kansas. Then we drove through. But we pretty much when we got there, first place we went was to buy some legal marijuana, and and no shit, we bought this huge.
Rice Krispie.
Rice
No, it's like a fruity pebble.
Yeah, it was a
treat.
Fruity Pebble Rice Krispie treat.
What is this you're talking about?
Like an edible Rice Krispie treat that is it has marijuana.
Mayor what?
Yeah.
Mara legal. It was
illegal.
We weren't doing anything illegal.
Notice that I'm refraining from saying dope.
Yes.
I get jammed up when I use the word dope around him. But
we made sure not to mix the legal stuff with our illegal stuff.
Yeah.
But we bought a nice strain of sativa because we were informed that would keep us awake and productive, and it did. And we just we started recording as soon as we got to Connors, right? Pretty much. We began with Spider in the Womb.
Could you brew that with coffee, and is somebody in Colorado doing that?
You can, but I don't know. Honestly, we were so naive, we were hiding behind trees, smoking the pot, and it's legal. And I remember the next guy was like, "What are you doing over there? You don't have to hide to smoke it."
It did take us a minute to
adjust. Yeah.
The people up here are normal. They don't have their head up their ass.
Absolutely. But yeah, we took all the songs out. Basically, we wrote these songs in probably about a 3-month span in his garage on an acoustic guitar. And at that time, we had, we didn't have any real ideas. We knew what the structure was going to be and what the harmonies and the melody and stuff was going to be. But Connor was able to, he played a lot of keys on the record, played a little bass, and he programmed the beats, and he really just did a lot. And I think he found a way for us, because at that time, hell, I hadn't been in the studio, since OTSB, but this really was not since Congress of a Crow have I done such a record. And I really think this is the best thing I've personally done to date, both from a musicality standpoint as well as, being able to step up and actually sing some leads and some harmonies. And since I've met this guy, that's something that I always just wanted to be the shredding guitar player, lead player, but now I've kind of stepped back. I mean, I still get my shit in on there. There's a couple solos I drop, but it's really just stepping back and just really focusing on writing good songs.
Excellent. I love that.
Oh, thank you. Gazzy, what do you think, though? Did you have a great time in Denver with me?
I did. I had it easy, I just do the vocals and wait around.
Well, he says that there's a few times that he was put on the spot. And
brewing coffee.
Yeah, there's a song on the Denver Sessions called "Sober," and it was an idea we had, but it wasn't really developed. But we pretty much just wrote it in the studio under Connor's production, and it's actually one of my more favorite titles off the EP. It's different, and it's a song that actually I think it's the only song you may rap. No, maybe rap on.
It's one I actually rap a verse, and I got that kind of rap in Club 30, but it's
it's very tasteful. So check that out, listeners. It's called "Sober" on the Denver Sessions.
And you recorded it sober.
No, that's questionable.
I never want to be sober again.
It's basically the lyrics right there.
Yeah, that's how. If it's a slow day, we just kind of look at what did I do last night. Let's write a song about that.
So much time sober.
And what's funny about that song is to me, some people were asking about, why'd you write this and what's this about? And then on that one, I was kind of I didn't really have anything in mind. I was just trying to write because we were all on the spot, kind of hey, we need another song. Let's write. And now when I listen back to it, I'm like, man, it is kind of dark, and maybe there was a hidden meaning in it.
Mm-hmm.
We all have those, we could touch on it a little. We're not shy guys, but we have our mental health issues. So, sober, being sober is kind of
in retrospect, I think it is kind of a nod to we're not saying we're poster children of people with mental health issues, but we both do suffer from anxiety and depression, and that's why I think we like to play music. Still doing it, even though we're in our 30s now. It's still fun because it's therapeutic, if you will.
Yeah, for sure.
And the kayfabe, it's it's a wrestling term for in character.
Yeah, I really should have asked that earlier. Hey man, what's the kayfabe mean? I just immediately went to KeyFob. Didn't even ask.
I like the KeyFob. Let's go with that.
We might have to change our name.
Yeah,
but please,
maybe one show change it.
No, but yeah, the kayfabe, it means in character, basically, back in the day, when wrestling was real, back in the 80s and shit like that.
When it was real, it is real. Still is.
It's Santa Claus and all that shit. Yeah, we'll have a talk about that later, Will. But yeah, I don't know if you ever watched that video of what is it, Don Stossel or whatever the fuck his name is. He asked this wrestler, he's like, well, I heard it's fake, and that the wrestler just slaps the shit out of him. You can look it up on YouTube. And slaps the shit out of the guy. He's like, what's wrong with you? Does that feel fake? That's just the open hand slap. And he slaps him again on the other side. And like puts this guy on his ass. Like, so they were really protective of the business. So they had kayfabe. So if you had like a good guy, babyface, and a bad guy out fucking having dinner at Denny's or something, and a fan walks up, you say kayfabe, and you jump up, and you're like, fuck you, and if I ever see you again, I'll fucking kill you, and you walk away, you know. So kayfabe's like the code word. Kayfabe, there's a fan. Shit, let's get in character real quick.
Oh, nice.
And so for us, I guess, you know, to me it means like the kayfabe for us is like a character that it's a release, you know, from all of our stupid depression and bullshit like that we go through, since we're not medicated yet. Not legally, anyway.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's beautiful. I like that name.
Self-medicate.
So we use it as like, this is us. This is our character. This is what we want to be. We want to be musicians and stuff. So
that's awesome. That's really cool, man.
thank you.
That's like, I think that may be the most thought out or meaningful name I've heard so far, at least today.
Nice.
For sure today.
Well, Travis Kidd, he actually got that name because I think that's his real fucking name.
Yeah.
It's pretty deep, though.
Yeah.
It goes back, way back. No.
Shit, Jason Ferguson is fucking...
It's like,
whoa.
Where did you mean to tell me your mother named you that? Mind blown.
Well, excuse me for complimenting you.
No,
won't let it happen again. Promise.
No, we're just not used to it.
Thanks for coming. What's the last song?
Get the fuck out.
And put that goddamn microphone down.
One thing I would like to touch on, though, while we're on the subject of the name, one thing for me, I've always, X-Cal, was, and he's not active, but was a professional wrestler and kind of comes from that background. I think more before he discovered that he was a musician and a singer. I, just being a fan, I'm not a pro wrestler, but I am a fan of the business. And for me, I was able to just have the foresight to kind of see the parallels between what the sports entertainment genre is, and how it parallels to what we do as musicians. You've played many shows, much like myself, but to see the parallel on how really close it is to what we do as musicians, as they do as workers, and just trying to bridge the gap, on how we can promote using some of the strategies that the business has employed for many years, and that's something I think that we are trying to bring into promoting the kayfabe, not only just as a band but as an enterprise. A brand, if you will, with us trying again to get our podcast up and going. And thanks, we will put it on the front burner. It's not on the back burner. After we leave here, I'm inspired right now. But again, too, like just trying to get, honestly, I would prefer, because we live in a time now where record deals are few and far between, unfortunately, and maybe that is a blessing.
Yeah, maybe.
I
really think it is a blessing.
It might be obsolete.
And I think now we're living in a time where everybody has an opportunity who is an artist, regardless of the medium, they're able to put their work out, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Unfortunately, that takes away from the fact that it does make it a lot harder for us to make careers out of this. So we just had to kind of strategize, and we performed a SWOT analysis, and we're able to identify our strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats, and apply that to our business model. And that's kind of I would rather
that guy knows.
I'd rather today have a reality television deal than I would a record deal.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be a great opportunity for us to also offshoot into different things. And again,
doesn't that mean you eventually have to put a picture of your butt on the internet?
I'm okay with that.
That's your fine?
Yeah, I'm okay
as long
with
as
that.
I have the baby oil.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I'll need to shave up too. I want to look smooth. I want to look smooth on television. But
we could Photoshop that shit.
Yeah, we can. Technology is a motherfucker.
I think you guys obviously know Boss. We hung out with him.
Yes.
Boss. I went to high school with that kid.
Oh man.
With Craig?
Yeah.
Boss Campbell?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And I'm gonna tell a story. I'm gonna say it was him, but I'm fairly certain it was him. That they were. We had like a 6-hour gym free hour, and they would always go in the wrestling room and practice for being involved with professional wrestling. And I would go hang out too. And I was really, really tiny at the time, not so much now, but this is like middle school, and they were teaching me how to hit somebody with a chair correctly.
Like
awesome.
fucking boss knows
Yeah,
how.
yeah. Well, we did in middle school. we were dadgum pros in middle school, and I think it was either Boss. I don't know. Maybe it was Billy, one of the dudes. I hit them for real in the face with a chair because I'm really great at it. And I don't know if it was Billy or Boss or Eddie. It's one of the three. Picked me up by my ankles and like spun me around and launched me into the wall. And I think that was the last day I was interested in like professional wrestling.
Yeah, you're like, the hell with this.
I was like,
Where's the guitar? The microphone. I'm gonna go that route. I'm with you on that too. I'm not getting in the ring with these guys, man. They bump really hard, and it's just no. I'm good. I like to watch. I'm from in the audience. That's where I'm at.
I like how I started that story from 25 years ago or something, and in the beginning I was certain it was Boss that threw me, and now I have no clue who it was, which is awesome about memory.
You owe somebody a kick in the balls, it sounds like.
No, man, I feel like they threw me up against a padded wall. I hit them in the face with a chair.
That's
so,
true.
Like, I was fine. They were fine,
And
but
in a way, by throwing you into that wall, they inspired you to become the musician that you are today. So I want to thank them too, because without it, we wouldn't have Jason Ferguson. So thank you, whoever threw Jason Ferguson into a fucking wall in middle school.
Jason, have you ever seen the video of Boss Campbell? It's on YouTube.
oh, good.
It was
Love you, Boss.
a show that they were working. Was in Arkansas, Missouri? Where were you guys at?
It was Arkansas, I think.
Yeah, I think it was.
That
And-
Tanya Harding?
Yeah, Tanya Harding and Boss Campbell were in the ring together, and it's just a big work. But she slaps Boss Campbell right in the face because he just.
I think she put a glove on and actually hit him.
That's probably what it was.
and
Yeah, I
knocked
kind of
him
forget,
out.
but I think that's Boss Campbell's claim to fame. Outside of he also in his apartment. Oh man, that's a real shithole too. Anytime I go over there, I make sure it's like, man, I'm on my way. Clean that living room up. Bless his heart. He's a good people, but he has that match
hovel.
the match of the year thing, that framed document.
Yes.
And I always just want to go over there and just take it away from him and hang it up in my house because
I do have the key to his apartment still.
yeah. Well, then after we leave here, we're gonna go take that from him, and I'm gonna hang it in my house because I just give him hell because he's really not a worker. He's more of a manager, and a great manager at that, if you will. I've seen some of his promos he's got. He's just a funny guy, and it's really neat. I didn't know you guys went to high school together.
Yeah.
Small
Friends for a
world.
long time. Yeah, for sure.
So, Jason, when did you first start getting into the music scene? Because I remember, meeting you, I think probably in 2008, with, maybe Alyssa Worth? Does this sound?
Yeah.
At Plan B, and I probably met you before that, too, but at Plan B was where First Shop was. It was like an outdoor thing.
I don't remember being there.
Maybe you just stopped by for a second.
It could have been. I stopped by once to watch the effects for 5 minutes.
Yeah, maybe I just saw you there then or something.
I don't know. I didn't start playing music till probably about 2008. You would have been right. But I was fangirling at shows forever before that.
I remember, you would talk to me and you'd be like, check out my song. And I'd be like, hell yeah.
I don't remember that at all. I'm sorry. What band were you in?
It was probably, I was just hanging out with Connor and Alyssa back then, but I don't know. Or maybe I would just see you out at shows. You were always really nice and you're like, hey, how you doing? And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, that shit changed.
Yeah.
I don't talk to people anymore.
Now he's he gives me these shitty looks from across the bar.
Yeah.
I'm just playing nice for this podcast.
The bartender will be like, this is from the guy across the bar, and I look up, and Jason's just flipping me off. I mean, he bought me a shot, but he's still a dick,
I'm surprised that cyanide hasn't kicked in yet.
Yeah.
I love it. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
that's fun, man.
So 2008, that was kind of I got into the scene around then.
Is that around the same time?
Yeah.
When your first album came out?
Yeah, I started doing that already on Clearance. That was my debut single, or my solo shit.
I have no idea. I don't have a memory of meeting you the first time.
I'm
my
not
brain's
very
broken. I
didn't have this hair back then.
My brain
so.
is super, super broken. So I just remember I know you. That's really all I know. I know this guy.
But
Well, we could reason with that, though.
and I remember seeing this guy, play for Congress.
Yeah,
Do you want to?
I synced Congress of the Crow, but I don't remember you being in it.
This is the forum.
Yeah, I get a lot. I had my hair was a lot longer in those days, and I was a lot skinnier too.
This is an open forum. I want to get greasy with it a little bit. Do you want to talk about your days in Congress, or maybe your final days in Congress? Because
Sure, absolutely.
you know how that unfolded.
It started out as a band called Vast 2, and Adam Tishner and I, the other guitar player, kind of came up in the late 90s and throughout the 2000s. But we had two variations of Vast 2. One that was a metal version, and then the second reincarnation was more of a bluesy funk rock band. But those bands kind of fizzled out, and we got lucky to find Danelle to sing for us, and these are songs that Adam and I had already wrote. But we played 4 or 5 years. But Danelle and I just continuously, we just were not getting along, and I was casually received my pink slip and was let go from the band. And I was real bitter, that's just how it is, because that was my baby, and I spent so much time just writing for it and, promoting the product. But I was young and dumb, and in retrospect, there's things I could have done differently. But one thing that I am still adamant about is I did stand my ground with Danelle when we would come to blows, verbal assaults. But I was fired, and I think the band lasted. They hired Ted Scott, a fabulous guitar player, by all means.
Yep.
As we know, he's a great guitarist, and he really, really fit well with the mold that was Congress of a Crow. But I think they went on for about 6 months, and 6 or 7 months after my departure, after me being fired, and then the band kind of called it quits. The bass player, Todd Shaver, came over to my apartment. And I was like, yeah, man, I think we're going to close up shop. And I was like, really? What's going on here? But, I just think, honestly, the writing was on the wall with that project. I think even before me being fired, it was kind of on its way out. So, yeah. And I do get that question a lot. Like, I don't remember you in the band. I was like, well, you got to go look at the pictures again.
Yeah.
Look at the liner notes of the record that I put out. Yeah, I'm there. Here, as of recent, too, like, this is funny, too. Some guy was saying that he was claiming that he had wrote the songs for Congress of a Crow, and I don't know who the gentleman is. I'm not going to get into too many details. So I sent him a personal message. It was basically, hey, we both know that's not true. And he was like, man, I never said that. I was like, well, we're both adults here. If you didn't say it, I'm going to believe you. That was a long time ago. Moving forward. But I think,
So you messaged him on Facebook.
I did, yeah.
He's like, let's be in a band together. You guys went to friggin' Denver.
Yeah.
And now we have the Denver sessions.
Well, no, that kind of comes in. I like to go there, though. This ties into, because after, being fired from Congress, man, I kind of became a recluse. I went back to college, and I didn't really want to play music anymore. It's something that I've done, and I've been in the business, 20 years. But after that whole moment, and it was the first time that I was like, hey, I don't have a band, I don't really not doing anything, and I just got real depressed, and basically essentially turned into an alcoholic, and I'll say that on the air. I was drinking way too much, but some time went by, and I was actually introduced, and I knew of XCal, I saw him in the spot next.
Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Well, at this time, he was going by XCal. But, we started hanging out and doing, a lot of drugs and drinking a lot. And we're like, hey, we should start a band or something to that effect. And I think we started as this group called the Everymen. Was that right?
Yeah.
And we were just having the worst luck finding names because they're like, man, that's a great name. And you probably experienced this. Well, you're good enough to actually go under your name. We're not that good. So we have to hide behind a name. But, yeah, the Everyman, we found out that some band in Florida was already called that, so that kind of turned into OTSB, which is an acronym for On That Shit Bad.
Never knew that.
Yeah, and we were, and you saw some of the shows. We were really a party band. It was a lot of fun, but it was a blur, really. And it was just, and really, it was so hard because we would have rehearsals, and XCal him and I have always been the songwriters of the group, and even in the OTSBDs, we would generate the ideas and come to rehearsal, and it was just so hard to get the keyboard player and the bass player and the drummer to, one, show up for rehearsal, and two, be proactive and
want to be in a band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like we were telling them, hey, I wrote your part for you. It was like, no, just add to what we have going on here. And it finally got to the point to where we were both stressed out, and XCal kind of made the executive decision to hey, let's pull the plug on this.
Chris.
Yes. But it was still XCal then. I'm going to beat the hell out of this. I'm getting to the Chris part.
Listeners, at the beginning of the episode, I asked Chris/XCal what I should call him today. And he was like, yeah, I'm trying to go by Chris here. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to mess that up. I haven't yet. Will just did 72 times. If I edited it down to 3, it was 72.
I think I'm just gonna. Yeah, it's a failed attempt. I keep trying to tell people that.
Just be who you are, man.
Yeah, I just want to be Chris for a
Okay,
little
well,
bit.
Chris.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, well, Chris, yeah.
Just let him be Chris.
You are Chris.
No, but as you were saying, yeah.
Yeah.
If we remember.
Yeah. No,
Well, I guess I was just leading up to what became the Kayfabe.
yeah, and pretty much like, okay, and then we could talk about this too. I mean, him and I, we were about to just be like, fuck it all, fuck everything. I'm done doing music. And then, I proposed the idea, well, what if we just fucking go to Denver and just record? Of course I had to hit up Connor and make sure he was down for it and shit, but, and we did, and I think that's what saved us. We didn't even have a name. We weren't even the Kayfabe when we went out there, That kind of, I think we came up with it in the studio. But I think it was just, we were in a place at that time where we just felt very, I don't know, maybe like, how would you say this? Not disgruntled, but, where you're discouraged, I guess. We're so discouraged with everything and spending like 3 years on OTSB and getting nowhere. We signed up for the Center of the Universe like 2 years in a row, didn't get accepted to that, based on whatever, we wouldn't have shit. We didn't, all rights to them, we didn't have a leg to stand on. So we finally just made the decision, hey, you and I, we've been the guys that have been fucking doing the legwork on this anyway. Why don't we just go record? We don't need band members and shit. Let's just do it. We could sequence that shit.
Yeah.
Get that MIDI and boom, boom.
You guys seem to work well together. You're a great couple.
I think, that's come along the way. But really, XCal's like family to me. I mean, really, even my dad and my mom are huge marks for this guy. My mom's never met XCal, but my dad, he's a
we
big fan.
partied together.
Yeah, Dad actually helped us out to get to Denver with some gas money, floated some money, because we showed up at his house and just were rehearsing the songs, and he was drunk and enjoying.
He's like, get out of my house. Here's some money. Go somewhere else.
Take that Hey, his dad was actually trying to get us to go to this party so we could line his dad some pussy up, probably.
Yeah, well, that too. And I think he was trying to work an angle to where we were going to get paid. It was just like, Dad, we got to be up
I feel like
early.
that's the first time that word's been said on this podcast.
Oh, shoot.
He was going to line up a lovely lady to start a romantic relationship
Yes.
with.
Jason, that's where I would have went with
Yes,
it.
for
Yeah.
sure.
No, this is Daddy Warbucks.
That's
You
my
met
dad,
him,
man. You met him.
you'd get it. No, he's a sweetheart though. He's a funny motherfucker.
You are his son. That is for sure.
That's what you said. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yes. Hit every branch on the way down.
Absolutely. Hey, quick question, Jason. When is your next performance?
No idea. I'm a
No
podcaster
idea?
now.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I just haven't booked anything. in a
Fair
while.
enough. Well, I know you've been really busy with this, and I really like the way it's going for you, man.
I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I think you're doing a great job. And like I was telling you last night at the party, I've had a chance to. I haven't heard all of them clearly because you're on 32. This makes 33.
I think we're 33.
That's great, man. That's really
Yeah.
good for you, friend. You do these once a week, or
Yes.
that's awesome.
Sometimes more if it's special.
That's good.
I
Man.
really liked the Sleepwalking Home episode. That was
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, theirs was a while ago. Like,
I can't go back, man. I keep buying new stuff. So like every episode, there's ups and downs, but most likely every episode's going to sound a little bit better. So if I go back 10 episodes, I'm like, oh, this sounded like crap. So if you're listening the first time, you can go back and experience me learning how to run
You get to
recording
see
equipment.
the evolution of the Basement in Tulsa.
Yeah, and-
Yeah, for sure.
But you've come a long way. Like I was
man.
just telling you earlier, I listened to Eric Hyman, the podcast you did with him. And funny enough, Eric Hyman was actually out in Denver while we were out there.
Yeah, we got to go watch him perform. And
That's
yeah,
cool.
It was a great time. Yeah, it was my first time in Denver. And I think the day before I had this major nosebleed. Just with the altitude change, and I really thought, like I say this, like my septum, I thought it just like collapsed because it was just a lot of blood. I'm like, XCal, I was like, don't touch me, go wash that up. It's like, thanks, man.
he's trying to record like guitar parts, but he's like laying on the floor with tissue in his nose.
And I'm pretty sure you're like, did you bring cocaine into Colorado and you're not sharing it?
Yeah. Did it snow early? It's August.
Absolutely. No, really, there was no cocaine. Just a lot of marijuana. And we did a little bit of drinking and driving too in Denver. Because the second night we just got stir crazy from being in that room. And there was one fan in the room that kind of cooled it down because with all the equipment, it got really hot. And
you have to do it in between takes.
Yeah, we'd have to like turn it off so it wouldn't pick up, and then turn it on, and you'd forget to. And Connor would get cranky.
We'd get musty.
Yeah, just musty. But it was such a great experience because he was worried that Connor and I initially probably wouldn't work too well together because of maybe our egos, if you will, or
just personality.
Yeah, maybe more personality clash, and it's the egos. But dude, it was the coolest experience. Are you familiar with Dave Percival when he ran Yellow Dog Studios?
Yes,
I had the
actually David Castro band. They went to
That's
Austin
right.
to record with him.
That's right, because I remember Castro was like, "Yeah, man, I saw your Congress of a Crow record at a studio," and that's where we recorded that. But we also recorded a Vast 2 record that was never released called Politicians and Lovers, and it was the first time that we really got to spend a lot of time on guitars, because Dave's this guitar, he loves playing guitar, so we got to spend a lot of time with layers and stuff. I always enjoyed working with him, but yeah, I was just curious if you talked to him lately. I miss the hell out of that guy. He's such a great talent and a great engineer. Can I borrow $20? I need some gas money, man. I got to go all the way back to Jinx.
Don't tell him you're out.
Let's play another song.
All right, yeah.
What's next on the list?
do.
Can we play the one I love with the acoustic thing? Beautiful girl. Can we do it?
Handle Me With Care.
Can you sing that again? Say that again.
You gonna edit it?
X-Cal, I think we got a new singer.
I've been singing it all day.
got demoted.
And he can play bar chords, damn it.
Oh, damn.
I cannot. You're wrong. I can't do it.
Yes.
Let's capo it and let's ride.
Let's just play the song.
All right.
Laying in my bed, can't pull the sheets away. Still got you in my head, gonna feel beat today. Why can't I seem to get you out of my mind? Well, this must be what happens when two broken hearts collide. All the time, I guess it's still my fault. You're overstepping lines, still keep me in the dark. Why can't you see you and me? The us is no longer there. Well, I think it's best I move on so I can handle me with care. It's a beautiful life.
I freaking really love that song. I love that song. I think it's my favorite one on your EP.
Most of the chicks dig it, yeah. JK.
I am a fangirl. That's okay to say. Man,
And you have a ton of fangirls too. I'm kind of jealous.
they're friends. They're all friends.
They're all friends. That's all we have too. We don't have fans. We just have friends. And if they are fans, they become friends because we're like, thank you so much for liking us.
You paid money for this?
Yes. Let me buy you a shot that actually costs more than the fucking EP does.
I'm so excited.
I basically just gave you your money back.
Man, the first time I printed T-shirts, it was like the first Kane show. I was like, man, I gotta have friggin' T-shirts. So I had a friend just like print them, and there were a bunch of them were burnt. They were terrible. He brought them like the day like I was already about to play, and he brought these like I have a picture just like white T-shirts sitting on like old dirty table, had no prep. I'm obviously a good planner, and I bought a bunch of them. And made like $5 because I would just give them away. I would get super drunk every time. And there's pictures of me with like 5 or 6 of our friends all wearing Jason Ferguson shirts, or like there's me with the entire staff of the Hunt Club wearing Jason Ferguson shirts, and just like I didn't sell any of them.
See, I've always heard it's kind of taboo if you're the band, if you're in the band and you wear your own band shirt. I hear that's like a taboo thing. You're
Okay,
like
Chris Angel.
You're like a mark for yourself. But see, wrestling is the complete opposite. They wear their shit because they want to promote it and be like, hey, if you see John Cena wearing his new shirt, all the kids want to buy.
And that's one of those parallels we were talking about earlier in the first segment between professional wrestling and the life of a musician. I've always heard that it's, like you said, taboo to wear your own merch, but I think it's, I want to be a walking billboard of my own shit. So.
Yeah, and sometimes it's the only thing clean anyway.
Yeah.
By the way, I have a load of laundry outside. I saw your washer and dryer. Do you mind if I throw a load in?
I don't mind at all.
These
really
mics
loud.
won't pick it up.
Well, they're not going to be here when you leave anyway.
Hey, but speaking of merch, though, I noticed that you have some new pins over there.
Oh, yeah. We've been arts and crafting buttons.
It's new buttons,
we
right?
put them on Instagram.
Man.
Yeah, and this is the first batch. We tried a while. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell people, but we tried a while back and failed. The glue never cured. The resin never cured. But now we have a bunch done. And I would love for you guys to take some.
We would love
some
to.
buttons that say from the basement in Tulsa.
I thought you were talking about resin because I'm down for some of that too.
Different kind of resin, I believe. I think it's like a composite, not really.
Okay.
I don't have a tagline.
So it can't get me high, is what you're saying. I'm not interested.
Well, I don't know. If you burned it, maybe there's some chemicals in there. I don't.
It's like Charlie Day from fucking It's Always Sunny, huffing glue and shit.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that. I would love for you guys to have some buttons. Please be my first friends to have.
Well,
buttons.
we would love to have some buttons.
How much are they? $20?
Well, if you would let me borrow $20, can you explain that to me? By the way,
Absolutely.
If listeners, if you're following, that there has been 2 inside jokes about $20 this episode in the previous hour before my favorite song.
And there's even if you pay attention in Club 30, leading into the second verse, you will hear vaguely in the background Will saying, "Hey, baby girl, can I get about $20?"
It's just a rib, a personal rib. It's just, we find different ways to deliver it.
Make our friends uncomfortable.
Yeah, if you will. One of the greatest.
What if I won't?
Well, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't really need the $20. It's just a rib, and I have fun with it. But XCal took me to a concert in Oklahoma City a couple weeks ago. We went and saw Korn and Slipknot. And, we had the all access VIP treatment, and we were in Korn's dressing room. And these guys, they still have a rider that's outdated because they no longer drink. At least that's from what I understand.
That's what the news says.
Yeah, right. I believe it to be true though, because the last couple times we have hung out with them backstage, there's just so much booze that they're not drinking, and they're like, "Here, would you like a beer? Would you like a beer?"
"Drink all of our beer."
Yeah,
and it's always the Stella's. Because they have their same writer from years ago, so it's always Stella's still.
So I was asking James Monkey, I was just fucking with him, and I'm drunk, and I asked James, I was like, "James, I'm a long way from home. Can I borrow $20 to get home?" And he was just kind of like, "Calm down." It was so funny. He was, "Calm down." A funny thing too. I want to touch on this too. During that time, a couple weeks ago, we were the drummer Ray. Of Korn, actually has ties somewhat to Oklahoma. He used to drum with
Zach
Malloy. The Nixons, remember that band? From like the late 90s, they had the song, Sister, I'll See You.
Well, Zach Malloy, he writes a lot of songs for a lot of people, like even David Cook's record, Daughtry.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I didn't answer. I nodded. Yes, I do. You know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
But yes, and I kind of felt worked. I was like, we have a mutual friend, Zach Malloy, and he was like, hey man, do you have Zach's phone number? And I was like, no,
we ain't that tight.
We're not that tight anymore. Actually, Zach Malloy produced a song on a Vast 2 album, an unreleased Vast 2 album, and that was a lot of fun working with him because he's such a pro, and I think he just writes songs for all the stars now.
He's a guy I'd really love to work with. I've always wanted to work with like Andy Skibb on songwriting.
That would be a lot of fun.
Nice.
Like, he's a really talented dude.
While we're talking about corn,
yes,
I want to bring up Hanson.
Okay.
Yes.
So somehow you reminded me of a story. I've been today at work. I have an old members EP card, and I was riveting at work. So like you have to check the top to make sure they're flush, to make sure they're not sticking up after you shoot the rivets. Not very complicated, but the best way to slide a card, like a credit card, over it to make sure it doesn't catch and it's smooth. And I was using my Hanson, like the old Hanson member EP card. So everybody that came by, I was telling them that all of these panels were getting vetted by Hanson because it was a card, like the owner of my company. And then, like, I don't know if he really gets my ridiculously stupid humor. But he was like, what are you talking about? But then he's like, has the same thing, and everybody in Tulsa does. If you talk to people about Hanson, they're like, oh, I know someone that knows them. And he was kind of like that. But he's like, I don't know, he's real good friends with the dude that makes guitars in Tulsa. I don't remember his name, but he made... Anyway, what made me think of that, I'm going to try to step away from Hanson. But you were like, he's like, do you have his phone number? I somehow thought I was playing with Anna Nolick. So and breathe.
Oh, yes. God,
I played a show with her. And while she was...
That's awesome.
While she was talking about Tulsa, she's like, I've loved this town. I've loved Hanson since I was a teenager. We were kind of playing music at the same time, all this stuff. And I was like, you know how cool it'd be if I walked outside of Marquee and one of the Hanson dudes were standing there, because 1 out of 72 times, not that I'm counting, they'll be there. Yeah. and so totally Isaac was out there. And I was like, man, it'd be so cool for me to go bring in a Hanson.
For her?
Because she's talking about how much she loves Hanson. I was like, you should come meet her. And he was like, I'll just text her. I was like, I'm dumb. Like, why wouldn't I? I was trying to be cool and nice. He's like, that's good. Oh yeah, she told me she was in town. Dang it.
Yeah, because he's got it like that. Like, they probably have Taylor Swift on speed dial, too, because she's a big fan.
Yeah.
I finally, growing up in Tulsa, you always hear about somebody running into those guys, and I was a fanboy back in the day. I hate that I just admitted that, but whatever, we'll get over it.
I love that you admitted that. I've said it like 1,000 times.
Well, see, we're not alone. Will's over here judging us, but whatever.
No. I have my Hanson story. Go ahead, finish yours up.
I finally, I always heard people meeting them, and I was always jealous. I was like, how the hell do you guys do this? And I finally got to meet him at like a Broncho show last year, or maybe 2 years ago. It's right after Idol. And the night before, I was watching my friend Jacob Abello, who I'd met on Idol, and he's a Norman artist. He's really talented. He did a show at the Vanguard, and Wayne Coyne was there from the Flaming Lips, so I got to meet him. Then the next night, I'm like standing right next to Isaac Hansen, who's standing next to like Eric Arn. I think that's how you say his name, the bass player. And I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna go.
He played on my album. Yep, Eric Arn.
Awesome. I was like, well, you know what, I'm gonna go for it because I've never met him before, and I'm gonna get the picture, gonna do the fanboy thing. And he seemed a little put off by it.
Who's this?
Isaac.
Okay.
So he was kind of like, he had a weird face in the picture, and then I walked up to Taylor. He was getting him like a beer or PBR or something, and I offered to buy him one. He was like, oh, I just got one, but thank you. And I was like, do you mind if I get a picture with you? He's like, oh, no. But he still had like a weird look on his face. Like, I'm just here to see the show, man. Like, get over it. You were a fucking child celebrity.
But their music's badass now. Anyway, moving on. The first time I met Isaac Hansen, I was after like my first Kane show, which I talked about before, where I had the t-shirts. I also had about 200 shots because it was my first Kane show. And then I ran into him, and Miko was playing down the street, and it's like my most mortifying, or one of the most mortifying drunk things was me talking to Isaac Hansen and asking him stupid questions. And I it was like annoying drunk. He's probably like, okay, thanks, man, nice to meet you. Okay, so anyway, okay, man, it's really nice to meet you. But then I sobered up a little bit, and I saw him again downtown that night, and I bought him a beer. I was like, I saw him an idiot. And then he probably still thinks I'm weird, but it's true, so it's okay. And segueing in from weird, I've been thinking about something weird, and your song, loving it so much, made me think about it again, because I was thinking about it while I was driving today, listening to your song, just completely lost in this weird thought. Let's have it. You ready? Do you think there'll be a day in the future with technology always getting better, with kind of like microphones, how they're an old technology, but they take sound and change it from air, from just waves. They make it digital for us right now and send it to your headphones. Do you think they'll be able to find a way to measure love and digitize it and send it to people? Like if I want to send you an email of love, what if?
I think
maybe not. Do you think it will happen? But how badass would it be if you could?
I think it would be. I think that would be pretty rad. I think it would make. It's just another thing to make us lazy and dumb us down. But because like the art of conversation really is lost. I believe that. I like to still talk to people, and sometimes I talk too much. But that would be
as we've seen the last hour.
Yeah, that's a scary concept, though. The idea of digitizing love and
because what made me first start thinking
wild.
about that was I was watching people, and I don't know. I feel sad sometimes watching people on Facebook put everything they have into just being accepted on that. And I was like, man, I wish I could just like send that person a hug. Like instead of a like button, just send them a hug. And I was like, whoa. And then
Send some love.
Eventually got to, I wonder, because I also think, I almost wrote a song about it, but maybe I will in the future, was putting love, like writing a song with love, like intention of love, writing the song, recording the song, and believing that love could be experienced by the person listening to the song in the future.
Let's take notes of this.
That's deep.
Because we might have a similar song recorded next week, but it had nothing to do with what you just said.
You know what?
It's just
I
a
like
coincidence.
the way you guys write. It would be so much easier for me if you guys wrote it and I just listened to it.
We'll share the money regardless. If we make anything, we'll share it with you.
My opinion on that, though, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I've always been under the assumption that love is a chemical imbalance in your brain, and that's why people feel like they're in love and stuff. I'm really a dark.
You're cut off.
I'm a dark man. I'm a dark. I'm emo.
Is the emo still a thing? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Like, what is emo?
But then now I'm going to keep on thinking, and this is a podcast, so we can keep doing that.
Please.
Then after you could send somebody love through an email or through whatever, you could package it up, measure love, make it a physical thing. Then would it become valuable? So then only the rich people have all the love. I'm giving you guys a fucking album right now.
There's certain, yeah.
It's just if the other end could reciprocate the love, because you may bundle all this love up and send it, but if it doesn't come back, then what?
Yeah. And
that's heartbreak.
I don't have a whole lot of love to give anymore.
That's Chris.
I think you guys need to be sending me some love. Like I said, I'm a dark man. I'm a dark man with money on my mind.
Yeah.
No.
we all have our days under the sun. It's just trying to stay solid.
Thanks for letting me talk to you about my weird ideas.
No, I love it. That's a great concept.
See, this is how
get some sci-fi
creativity
going on there,
happens.
Mm-hmm.
We bounce around these wonderful ideas, and
absolutely,
pretty soon somebody listening to this will patent it, and we're all fucked.
And we're buying love from that person.
Yeah,
buying it on the black market.
I was thinking about like jobs and just about how our world works. And I saw like a I never saw the movie where only the rich people have time, and like they're selling and buying time, and like I just saw the trailer of, I don't know who was in it, but she was hot, and I was thinking like, well, that's how we do it. We are selling our time all the time, and like I was like, well, they're gonna run out of time, and I was like, oh shit, we're running out of time too. It was like, oh no, it's real. Oh no, and then I quit thinking about it because
essentially everything is like Idiocracy, that movie.
Oh goodness, I watched that again recently just to see how much.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch it. I first watched it in like 2007, I was a different person in 2007. My belief systems, everything. So I didn't really pick up on all of what they were talking about. All the, the satire in it basically. And I definitely see it now because I feel like my eyes are open a lot more to a lot more different shit. So.
Yeah, it happens.
And not to get political or anything.
It happens.
But if you want, what was your take on the Ferguson issues? If you care to even discuss. I know it's kind of a dead topic.
Yeah.
Tired of hearing about it, but
it's sad.
That's
all we have. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know enough about it. I'm sad about it all.
It's sad that, yeah, I mean, and the looting, all that. I wish people were smarter.
Let's package up this fucking love.
Yeah, and just
send it to Ferguson.
They need it the most right now. Yes.
Now it's dark. I kind of want to.
Yeah. Let's lighten it up a bit. Yeah. Shit, sorry.
Okay. Flashback to Can I Borrow $20? Now, listeners that are finding out about you, they're at your show. Are they involved in Inside Joke now? Can they be like, hey, man, can I borrow $20 I can borrow?
You know, and a few people are catching on, and they're starting to hit Will up before you can ask them.
Yeah.
I'm taking it from you.
I've somehow designed, like, these quotable quotes. Yeah, you know.
And Boss Campbell's notorious for stealing all of them.
All of them, though. But it's just
but if you will.
It's just a little awkward thing that I do, but it's just...
the Bubba Crump.
Yeah, it's just something, again, you know, suffering from anxiety. It's just a good, nice way for me to clear a room of the weirdness, you know? Because I'm one of those people, like... I could be sitting in a room, or even
I just did that exact thing.
You know,
I stole it from you already.
Yeah, absolutely.
I cleared the weirdness with "Can I borrow $20?"
That's
we're
it.
talking about it again.
And I think that's just kind of more of a pep thing for me, just to kind of not make things weird and
break the ice.
Break the ice, if you will. Thank you.
Oh yeah. The ice bucket challenge reminds me of this challenge I thought of. Let's start a challenge.
Okay.
I don't need any recognition. It doesn't have to be for charity, but I'd really like to see reactions from people if listeners think of just an obscure, random song and send it to people on Facebook with no context. Just send the YouTube link, like just something weird, and then don't say anything else about it, and then like don't respond after they're like, what's this? Because I get the weirdest song stuck in my head randomly, and I'm singing them all the time. My girlfriend's like, why? And I'm like, because I can't help it. And I was like, there was just one weird song. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, I just want to send this to somebody, just randomly, somebody maybe I haven't even talked to in years, and then like not explain it whatsoever. And I hope listeners, please do that. And if you send me a picture of that, I would love that so much.
I'm going to send, like, have you ever really loved a woman? And I'm going to send it to, like, one of my gay friends. Well, one of my male gay friends. Because, yeah, Michelle from Sleepwalking Home, she would be like, well, actually, yes, I do.
my favorite quote from her is, you know, I'm still gay when I'm drunk. That's from the episode with us. Do you remember? Well, still gay when I'm drunk.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. Those guys.
I love them. Yeah,
They're
so
good
much.
people.
Sleepwalking Home is one of my favorite people, and they're so supportive of us. They've always have been, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Indeed. What song are you going to send, Will? And please. This is like a requirement now.
Okay, I think the song I would like to choose. Is it Billy Ocean? Would Get Out of My Dreams and into my car. That's the song I'm sending to you.
I don't know. And then I'll be like, why? I'll have forgotten. I asked you to do that.
He doesn't listen to his own podcast. He's going to be so confused.
Well, what song are you sending?
I don't know. Probably a country one.
Okay.
The one that had stuck in my head, but made me think of this. I remembered it since we had time. It was some just weird Ray Bolt song that I listened to growing up in church, and it's like thank you for giving to the Lord, which is actually like perfect to just randomly send to somebody. So I'm probably gonna do that.
Send it to somebody that you obviously know is not on the Lord up and up.
Yeah.
Send it to one of your atheist friends. They'll be like, what?
I hope they get my humor. They're like, this idiot. And like,
stop pushing your religion down my throat.
Probably.
No, do you have a happy song? Like a song that one song that just kind of makes you happy when you hear it?
A bunch. Let me think. It's always ones that I kind of grew up with. And I talked about it with Travis Kidd. You listened to that episode. There's a documentary called Alive Inside where they give dementia patients songs that they loved and they come back to life. And so like it just really pointed out that songs, I mean, sound is a physical thing, you know, and that's why I'm hoping love is as well. We just haven't really.
It's like a universe.
You can like, I'm looking at a portrayal of sound waves on my computer as we record. Like sound is real, and I freaking don't remember what. Oh, that was a good rant. I don't know what song I would send. No, we're off of that.
Yeah,
happy song.
Happy song.
You mentioned though, like that there was a country song.
You didn't get a contact.
Are you going to go see Garth Brooks?
I am.
To be okay?
I am, and I'm more than excited about it.
That is really cool. What is your favorite Garth Brooks song?
Oh, right now it's Mom, the new one.
Man, I need to check out the new album. I haven't either.
one of the songs I was going to sing for American Idol was a Garth Brooks song because I wanted to tell the story on American Idol about him signing my Bible.
That'd be awesome.
But then I backed out. It was, that's when she's more than a memory.
I haven't heard that one.
It's like, I don't know.
Can you hand me the tissue?
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Oh,
You got
thanks.
a little, just their eyes are watery.
I will be seeing Garth, and
You're so lucky, man.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
I am very, very much excited. My brother, I hope he doesn't listen to this episode. But we got concert tickets on the day of my brother's birthday. Mm-hmm. And when you're buying tickets, you didn't get to pick seats. You just kind of like went.
Whatever they have.
Whatever they were, they're all $70. You just go get them. And it's his birthday, and I love him to death. And his seats are way worse than mine. So when he asked, I was like, I don't know, I haven't checked. I was like, I didn't know that I'm on the floor like 5 feet from his sweaty face.
Yeah. Sorry, bro. You're gonna have to watch
Like,
this.
just because, like, I don't know if he would ask, but just in case he would ask, I would have to be like, oh, thanks for raising me. Here's your tickets, you know. So I'm just trying to keep that on the down low. Where are you sitting? I don't know. Lourdes has the tickets.
Well,
so.
he'll see that the Kayfabe's name was on this episode, so I'm sure he won't check it out.
I personally asked him not to listen.
He's like, these guys are gonna be fucked.
Yeah, this is fucky.
God.
What's your favorite
man.
Garth Brooks song?
Oh man, Thunder Rolls.
That's gonna have to be mine
just
too.
a
That was my
classic.
favorite song for a while growing up. If you asked me what my favorite song was, and I don't know
I
if
like
he's
Rodeo too. That's my guilty pleasure.
I don't know if he's super amazing. I can't take a step back from my fanboyism to like really evaluate if he's even good.
Yeah.
I was like, I love everything it does. So like, I can't help it.
He did. I don't know if it's a cover of somebody else's song, but he did the way you feel my love, or to make you feel my love. That song. Are you familiar with it?
Feel
My love.
Yep.
Yeah. I know you haven't made your mind up yet.
That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, that one's a really good one too.
I'm sorry, listeners. Terry, for one, I'm very sorry, and everyone else who's tired of hearing about Garth Brooks on every episode. This is what happens, you know.
Sorry, we're Okies though.
Yeah, this is Oklahoma.
We're Okies.
You're gonna hear it, and you're gonna hear it even after he sees the concert.
Oh my
Probably
goodness!
a whole recap.
You're gonna hear. I'm actually like really hoping that nobody is near me that I know, because I'm probably gonna cry a lot. That's never really happened at a concert, but like I think for the past couple of years I've been building up a good cry.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna come, and if it's gonna happen, it's gonna be there. It almost happened at the marathon. I played the Route 66 marathon, and I didn't even know these people at all. But I went to the finish line afterwards after I was done playing and was watching people finish running 30 miles. And I was like, I'm so proud of you guys.
That's awesome.
I don't know why. So, I mean, when it happens, it's going to happen.
You should have cried on stage at your CD release, man.
Oh, man, I probably did.
Because I always feel like, man, you get that good. David Cook was the king of that shit. You know, you just spout out a little tear, and those cougars will start getting moist.
I foresee though.
I was about to tell a story about my mom. He's like,
That's not a good segue. That's not a good segue.
So we can laugh. Laugh. Speaking of laughing, my mom is hilarious, and she was at that show. And I said the F word on stage. And
Was that the first time mommy's heard you say that?
Maybe, possibly. But I looked down. My mom was obviously front of the stage for this Kane show. And I looked down and I said, "Sorry, Mom." And she thought I said, "I love you, Mom." So she starts bawling. And afterwards, she's like, "Thanks for saying you love me from the stage." And I was like, "Of course I love you."
Yeah.
So I hope my brother doesn't listen. I hope my mom doesn't listen to this episode. This episode isn't getting released. I'm sorry, guys. This is
You're telling too much.
We're just testing out the new mics anyway.
But it's okay because I looked down and said I love you a separate time. But that one time was like,
Yeah, I'm always weary of my mother being in the crowd, especially like that "Bless the Children" song that we have on the EP. It almost didn't make it, you know, because we were really like frustrated with how it was going at first, you know. But it ended up being some of our musician friends. It's like their favorite one, and oddly enough, we just felt like it'd be a B-side that nobody would really
that's
listen
cool.
to.
It's cool. Let's talk about some podcast feedback experience. Travis Kidd, the most recent episode, if you're listening, you'd like to go back. He plays some rock and roll, plays some country,
I heard that rap.
Plays
on there
some
too.
rap. There's some rap on there. There's some instrumental. It's just all around incredible musician.
Yeah.
And it was really cool that he brought different styles of like music, because then when people were giving me feedback, they're like, "Oh, my favorite song." One of them was just the one he recorded at his place, "Staying Right Here." If you're listening, and then another person was like, I really love the rap one, and like other people were. It was so cool to see just
You have a variety.
just that variety, and everybody. I don't know. It was just really awesome.
Some people say that, like industry people say that's like not a good idea because you gotta have the more versatile you are, it kind of holds you back because it's hard to market. But I feel like I want to be like a jack of all trades. I'm not the type of guy that has to be great at one thing. I want to be the guy that's good at a lot of different things. I don't have the ego to be the best or the great. I just want to be good. I want to be good at it, and I want to enjoy what I'm doing.
I normally gain functional knowledge of things.
Yeah.
And then it's over. That's all I'm learning. That's it. So once this thing sounds pretty decent, it's getting pretty close. This podcast sounds good right now. That's as good as it's getting. I'm learning something else. I'm probably gonna finally learn to play the guitar well. I learned some bar chords.
Yeah, I need to get on there. Maybe we should both be practicing together, motivate each other. So we could maybe give that capo a rest every now and then.
We love the capo. That makes life easy. You're a guitar player.
The fourth fret, baby.
Fourth fret. That's a sweet spot.
Yeah, man. That's my key is 3. Whatever key that is, like capo 3. That's the one my voice just flows.
Hell yeah.
That's where I sing Apologize. That's where I sing 17 of my own songs.
I would love to hear the Apologize.
Yeah. Do you have it up on YouTube or something?
Yeah.
I'm sure it is. Probably.
Where would the listeners go to find that?
I'll creep on it.
Just
I don't know.
Just
Jason
Probably just
Ferguson.
YouTube,
Jason Ferguson.
Apologize.
Apologize. All right, check that out. I'm gonna check it out as soon as we're done here.
Man.
Love to hear that.
Yeah, because I heard you talking about it on the last with Travis. So
Oh yeah, I was talking about that. Some chick.
And that's a
country girl.
hard song, man. That's
I love
a
it.
tough song to sing. I mean, but who wrote it?
Ryan Tedder.
Ryan Tedder from here.
oh, you got to meet him too. What was that like? Was it brief?
I kind of blacked out. You know what I mean? I wasn't drunk, but it was just like, I'm about to meet Ryan. I met Ryan Tedder. That's all I remember. I was trying to talk to him. I was like, this is dumb. But he talked a lot about that album. I don't think maybe it was Native. Native had just released, because that's the last one. And he was talking about how excited he was that it was going number 1 in all these countries and all this stuff. He was just like super excited still to see it doing well. Not like, it wasn't like, this is going number 1. He's like, no, it wasn't like no big deal. He was like childlike excitement that I expect that I get every time I release an episode. Or when the Kayfabe comes and hangs out and talks shit with me, I get that excited that something good is happening.
Yeah, that's cool that he still gets excited.
Yeah, I was super. I think motivated. Yeah. I was like, man, that's so cool that somebody on absolute top of the world in music is just still like really loves his job.
Yeah,
that's because
you imagine all the royalty checks he gets for writing for other people, like. That guy's on everything.
I didn't know that first, but when somebody was like, that's like One Republic's side project, I was like, goodness. And then I'm not sure when I saw them at BOK, I'm not sure if this was motivating or like depressing when I saw their stage, because we were pretty high up, like looking down, Eagles view of their stage, and I was like, goodness, that's bigger than like I could fit my apartment there 4 times.
Were they the headliner there?
Yeah.
Okay, because I saw them, this was a few years ago, but they opened for Maroon 5, and
nice.
They killed it, dude. Like, after that, I was like, well, we can leave now, and I'm happy, but of course, the chick wants to see Maroon 5. I won't lie. I kind of wanted to
Did he take off his shirt?
He might have, or he was wearing a skinny shirt anyway. I might have wanted to see him too. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I asked.
But like Ryan Tedder, man, that guy live is just phenomenal, dude. He's got pipes for days. And he embarrassed Maroon 5. They should have went on first.
Do you have any tricks you've learned from playing so long? Something that maybe a musician might not have thought of. Like the one I'm thinking of is when I sing, I set my microphone. I set the height too high, just a little bit above where my mouth would be. So I make myself not slump. I make myself stretch my diaphragm so I can send those beautiful notes out into the universe.
I've been learning that, just recently, like, because I would have a tendency to do this. Coming from the rap, you have that horrible mic holding thing, where you hold over the fucking.
I thought you were about to do it. I was like, no, no feedback.
But so I've been. It's a work in progress, but learning and doing it up a little higher. I like to get in it a little, it's just,
What's something, Will, on stage that you've learned that maybe you can share some knowledge.
I think
Because knowledge is power.
knowledge is power. I think for me, make sure your shoes are tied.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I've
that's pretty
tripped
good.
on stage many times, like over my own shoelaces. See to it that your guitar is in tune. And I think that the biggest thing for me is don't be drunk on stage.
Yeah.
We're
all guilty
It goes
of
back
it.
to my mental health issues. I like to have one drink to kind of drown the butterflies.
Yeah.
But I've been in those positions to where I was just too damn drunk to be on stage. There's one show I played, I think, and I was in cowboy boots, and it was kind of new
He
to
wasn't
me.
wearing cowboy boots when he went on stage.
and I was
cowboy boots.
I was shithouse too, and I was just trying to keep my balance, and it was just a terrible performance. So I definitely I recommend do not, be drunk. Save that till after. Save that till after.
I'm starting to think now too, like it looks kind of tacky whenever, because I just watched an old video of us from OTSB at like a Halloween show or whatever, and I was like smoking a cigarette on stage, drinking, and it just looks tacky. Yeah. It doesn't look pro.
I have one like that too.
So I'm like, I should probably just stop doing that shit, because nobody. I want our show, once we do finally find some band members and we have the full Kayfabe sound, like, from the album, instead of doing the acoustic.
Yeah.
I want it to look pro. I want it to be a show, not just a bunch of musicians plug in, play, blah, blah, blah. There
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
Find some passionate people loving to play those songs. That tends to help.
Yeah.
I think.
Good luck.
Yeah,
and if
With the stuff you're playing. Good fucking
God
luck.
fucking yeah. And if there's any like keyboard players out there listening to this, we are interested, and you can get a hold of us at gibsoninglewood@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Contact Sirius Stanley. He's one of the previous episodes. He's been playing piano with me. I think he would love to, and he's incredible.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're just looking to like not permanent members per se, just some studio cats to just play a few shows live with us.
I'm sure he'd love to.
That's
awesome.
Jesse, if you're listening, Sirius Stanley, charge $100 every show.
Well.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Okay, well,
but guys, he's good.
I'd rather negotiate off the air.
We're already in the hole, it looks like. We're going to need those iTunes checks coming in.
Right? 3 months.
I mean, yeah. Well, and I don't know what we're standing on, but man, I've been really happy with the sales so far of the Denver sessions. I'm pretty proud of it. Like,
Happy or surprised?
We can find it on
yeah, I'm surprised.
Where all can it be
You
purchased?
can find it on iTunes, Google Play. It's supposed to be on Pandora soon, but that's like a process.
Yeah.
Spotify, I believe it's already on Spotify, and
Amazon? Is Amazon
Yeah,
MP3?
Amazon MP3, and
The Bandcamp.
yeah, the kayfabe.bandcamp.com.
Cool.
That way you can preview it for free.
I'll leave an iTunes link in the description of this podcast. So
Awesome.
That's awesome.
wherever you're listening, you'll find an iTunes link. Sorry if you're not an iPhone user listening to this podcast. My bad. But also, if you're listening and you have bought or will be buying their EP, do rate it and review it.
Yeah, we do
Because I've been
ask.
reading, and please do that with the podcast as well.
Yeah.
Anything less than 5 stars is failing. That's what I like to say. I stole it from Lyft. But that's how a lot of the rankings go with iTunes, and it's incredible. I mean,
Connor was really adamant about that too. He's like, yeah.
So I bought it. I'm guilty. I'll go rate it and review it after this episode.
well,
Please
thank
do.
you for buying it,
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
Man, I was excited as soon.
I mean, supporting the music scene. That's so rare these days, but
I'm just one of those guys that just loves buying terrible music.
well, yeah.
I like these songs. I was very surprised. Like my first reaction was just surprised. Like, whoa! I didn't see this coming, and it's beautiful and it's great. And you guys seem to be happy making it and playing this music. And
Thank you.
That's dadgum wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Yeah.
that. Absolutely.
You're putting on a good kayfabe. Am I using that correctly?
You are.
When in Rome.
We're kayfabe. Kayfabe hard.
Absolutely. God, I wish this wasn't sugar.
Man, we talked about the buttons. We talked about my weird ideas. We sent the awkward song challenge. What else you got for us there?
We need to get juicy. Like, let's get into some gossip, some local gossip. Is there?
Man,
any? I'm not saying shit on anybody, but you know,
I've seen a lot of it. I can't do it, man. First of all, I feel bad if I say anything negative about somebody. I automatically feel bad, and it happens. Don't get me wrong, it happens. But I automatically just like, man, I I just feel bad. That's
Why
it.
don't we shoot an angle that's more of like us explaining that, maybe there's this preconceived notion that we are just these bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
Maybe just
We do
tell
have...
on ourselves, if you will, and just, maybe just they don't get maybe necessarily our sense of humor, and sometimes it can maybe come off as a little pushy or standoffish. It's just the way we're wired.
It's just the wrestling vibe.
Yeah, it really is.
We're kind of abrasive people, and
I think you're
we're not bullies.
we mean well, and I'd like to think that we stand up for people too, if anybody, is getting picked on or something, but I don't know. We do have like this aura to us where some people just don't like us for one reason or another.
Well, that's what I love about podcasts, because we've been listening an hour and a half now, and you guys, you can get that personality that you can't get.
Yeah.
You can only learn so much about a person from hearing them sing or watching them play, and
don't read my Facebook and take it serious, because a lot of people do that, and really I've been trying to market even my own personal page as just a lot of in character kind of shit, because
it's a work.
It's all a work.
It's a work. Yeah.
have you?
Satire, basically. Basically.
I always want to just post weird stuff on Facebook just to see how people react.
Yeah.
But then, because I also have a bunch of fans, a bunch of people I don't really know on Facebook now. So I don't want people to get the wrong idea. I'm actually crazy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty close to crazy sometimes. But
I'm terrible at marketing. But I've been using.
how did that go?
I'm trying to it goes into this the way that I post things about
Crazy. You know what's crazy? Marketing.
Yes. Well, when I post, I'll post about the album, and I'm
Yeah.
and if you don't buy this, I'm gonna kick you in your fucking balls or something, or buy it, or I'll show up to your house and fucking burn it to the ground or something. That's not good marketing. That's not gonna get anybody to buy. But I feel like it's a unique way.
You know how I'm trying to get on the podcast? Biker Fox.
Biker
And I
Fox.
say that because in one of his little trailers, he just released a movie, and I think it's awesome that this dude is like, I want a movie about myself. Let's freaking make one. I love that about him. I rented it. I watched it. It's hilarious. It's very weird. I love weird people, obviously. But what made me think of it is he's like, there's just one part of the trailer is him standing there shirtless with these huge earrings on and his balding hair flowed back. He's like, "Are you scared? Well, you should be, because I'm gonna come into your house and kick your ass."
Oh my God.
Trailer over. And I was like, "What?
I've got to rent this.
Yes, do it.
I'm
Please.
scared of him for many reasons.
I'm trying to.
It's usually that hog leg he's got in his pants. It's very noticeable.
Working with a monster.
He's wearing biker shorts, man.
I mean, Jesus, when you could see the vein and the outlines and shit, that's when it's too tight.
I was trying to talk about just this thing earlier when we were talking about how wrestling, how it's so similar to music. I love learning that it's really a lot of the same thing with everything that people enjoy, or people produce art in any format, or he's promoting riding a bike because it's beautiful, and it really is. I got into it, I got addicted to it for a while, but then I started a podcast. But one day I'll be back to biking. It's really amazing, and he's doing the same thing. He has a day job where he sort of works. You watch the movie; it's kind of weird. But when he has free time, he's out biking and making a movie and trying to promote this thing, which is a lot like what a bunch of musicians do. And I found that even there's so many levels of playing music that I never knew about. You kind of, younger years, you kind of picture it. You're playing local shows and all of a sudden you're fucking famous. But then I have friends that are touring all over the world playing pretty crazy stadiums, and they come back and they're like, "Hey, I gotta get a job." It's just how it is, until I'm sure there's a certain breaking point of that. But I don't know, it's just the same. I've had poets on that it's all the same, comedians. It's so similar. It's really beautiful,
man. Entertainment industry. It's it's weird.
I think the end game though is we're ultimately trying to find a way to cheat life through our art. I mean, I don't necessarily want to have to wake up at 7 and be to work at 8 and work 8 to 12 hours.
Crunching numbers.
I don't really like doing that. It pays my bills and it gives me a platform to get my art, get my shit in, if you will.
To buy microphones for a sweet podcast.
Absolutely. But Yeah, that's just the way she goes.
Yeah.
You know, it's you're either on top or you're not.
And right now, I've been doing, you know, the cover band thing, like up in a casino, you know, in Miami, Oklahoma. And to me, like, that's just better for my psyche because the depression thing, you know. I always go back to that. So whenever I'm in like a real job, you know, fucking just something I hate, like if I'm working at like a Southern agriculture, you know, throwing big dog food bags in the warehouse, like. It's just, God, I'd rather be writing music and getting paid for that.
For sure.
And so, like, doing covers, I mean, as much as I hate it, and there's a stigma to that, it does pay for my original music. So, you know, sometimes you gotta do some shit.
You're gonna be hanging out with Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve.
Pauly Shore.
Miami, Oklahoma.
At the Buffalo Run Casino.
You guys are opening and closing and partying with Pauly Shore.
Yeah, he better have all the drugs on him too. By now. I want to go Encino, man.
I suggest. I suggest listening to his podcast. It's good. It's called Interested. It's Pauly Shore Interested, and the first episode I've only listened to the first one, but they're talking. The first one is actually. It's pretty in depth. It's like Robin Williams' best friend and like just another guy that worked with Robin Williams forever. And they're trying to, I don't know, humanize Robin and talk about it. It's really beautiful. Not that I know anything about it. Yeah. But his like tagline of the podcast is like, all right, we're going to go do this. Are you interested? And it's like, he'll stop the conversation and like, are you guys still interested? it's just like, I can't do a Pauly Shore impression, but imagine Pauly Shore being, are you interested? And it's wonderful. I suggest listening to it.
Maybe I should. That way I'll have a window of conversation that I could open up to him. And then I could be like, and you should check out From a Basement in Tulsa podcast.
For sure. Oh, he's heard of us. Oh, he's heard of us.
Oh, he has.
I believe it. Yeah.
You need to return his phone calls. He's been trying to be a guest for a while.
Yeah. Or we've been messaging him. Dude, you're coming to Tulsa.
You guys just keep missing each other.
You know what? The emails just get... There's just so much love flowing through email now. It's hard to get like words through.
This is gonna be like the craziest past 2 months for me as far as like meeting celebrities.
Yeah, because Jason Ferguson for sure.
Absolutely, that was the number one. Oh, that was my favorite. And I'm sorry about fanboying out on you at first.
It's okay, man. It's okay.
I'm sure you get it a lot, so you're used to it by now. But I ran into Nick Swartzen.
Oh, nice.
At the Colony.
Nice. He tweeted about that.
Holy shit.
He was like, the next day, he was like, it was so cool hanging out with the Colony. And I was like, what the hell? I was just sitting in my house, not doing anything.
He was like doing karaoke and shit.
Awesome.
And I talked to his brother, I guess, that was probably an opening act for him during his comedy show. And I didn't know, because he didn't look like Nick Swartzen because he had, you know, a scruffy face and a beanie on and shit. So I was talking to his brother at first and just shooting the shit, and then my song came on, you know, so I go up and do a karaoke of like fucking Journey's Faithfully or something, and like Nick Swartzen's like, yeah! And then his brother comes up to me, he's like, hey man, my brother wants to meet you, and I was like, that's kind of weird, is he gay? I'm not gay. And then I was like, oh, it's fucking Nick Swartzen, that's awesome. So I took a picture with him, and my friend Nate kind of creeped him out a little bit. You know, he was doing that thing where you quote lines of Nick Swartzen's lines from shit to him.
Yeah,
that I'm sure he fucking loves.
Have you ever had a girl send you lyrics to a song you wrote to like try to impress you, but it's like a beautiful song about an ex, and it's like, this isn't really.
It's like you're sending mixed signals. I don't.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if you realize what this makes me think of. Like, sorry to interrupt that, but what I would do instead of quoting his lines would be like. Bring him a gift box of shit, because one of his bits is when he gets old, he's excited about being old because you can like do stuff like that. Like, oh, I thought it was a race car. Grandpa, this is shit.
Here's a box of shit, Nick. Nice to meet you.
I think he's a comedian, man. He has to find that shit hilarious. Yeah. That's double entendre.
And then I got what is it, Slick Rick? And now I didn't actually meet him. I don't know who that is. I didn't actually meet him, but we did that show with him. I was so fucked up that I don't even know if I physically saw him. But I heard it was terrible. He just sat up by a DJ booth and like rapped a little bit. Maybe had his eye patch on or something, but you know, so if you're ever wanting to go to a Slick Rick show, don't expect much. And if Slick Rick had a problem with that, come see me. I'll fucking bitch.
Come be on your new podcast.
Yeah.
Have you got a name for it yet?
World on Fire,
World on Fire.
which was an old OTSB song. But,
Oh, nice.
and it sounds like a good like podcast name because we're gonna touch subjects, worldly subjects, all kinds of shit, like from wrestling to music to whatever is the hot topic, the trending topic. Whatever's hashtagging.
What sucks about I record a few days early, so I feel weird talking about trending topics of the day because like it comes out 3 days later and it's like this is old, old news.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't take shit for
he said
things.
so in the future we'll look for World on Fire. If you need any help, I'll totally give you all the information I have, which isn't much.
Well, he'll probably be a guest too. Man.
Absolutely,
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
For dang sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
For dang sure. I'll bring these microphones.
Yeah, we'll need them.
But you said World on Fire, and I thought Catching Fire. And because I saw a picture today, which is probably going to be so old news when this comes out, of like the Hunger Games logo, the Mockingjay logo.
Yeah.
If you look at it closely, it looks exactly like Johnny Bravo holding an arrow. Please pause this episode, go look, and be amazed with me. I wish I would have noticed that and put that on the internet from my Facebook page because I'd be famous.
Son of a bitch. And we're always 10 years too late, it seems.
Yeah. No, man, I think right now is an excellent time to get into podcasting.
Lots of people are doing it.
Serial, a podcast I love that I think I've told you guys to listen to, is they're calling it the first breakout podcast, like the first one that it's a fad right now. Like it's so huge. All like celebrities are tweeting about it, and they're being pissed off with me because she ends every episode with a question, like what if it's this next week or next time on Serial, and I'm like, I'm gonna punch you, woman. It's like an investigative journalism thing. Anyway, like it's gotten so huge that I think it's making podcasting be taken more seriously. I happen to know that there's going to be in the future a TV like a news channel doing a segment on it. Like that's cool. That's so cool. Now
it's the next
what I'm trying to
thing.
say is now is a good time, and it's just fun. Are you guys having fun?
Yeah, I love doing stuff like this.
I feel like every time I say something like this, podcasting is great. It's so awesome. I'm telling that to listeners that are already listening to a podcast. And they're like, shut up, Jason. We know this is cool.
Yeah, we get it. You're doing a podcast, man.
Obviously, but I also want everybody to do it. Like I think I say that to everybody. I think everybody that's been a guest, I'm like, just start a podcast. It's so easy. And mine is a little bit more, I don't know, it's harder to do because I'm trying to have lots of people on all the time, so I have these mixers and stuff. But you could do it like so easy from your place. You guys get together, we're gonna do a Kayfabe World on Fire podcast, and boom, it's awesome.
I'm hoping to hit up some of the old wrestlers that I know from back in the day to be guests as well.
Because there's people all over the world, man. I don't know if you know that. There's people everywhere. So like anything you're interested in or anything you talk about, you're probably going to find people that are also interested in it. I happen to choose music because I think it's an interesting thing because I play that, and some people in the world do like listening to music, so it's pretty cool.
I've heard that.
I think I heard who's the rich dude.
I have never met somebody that just walks up and is like, you know what I really fucking hate? Music. I hate wonderful sounds going in my ears.
I think Donald Trump, somebody in an interview, somebody asked him what the biggest like market is, and he's like music. That's the biggest industry. This involves so much going into it. Everybody like it's big.
Yeah.
So let's take it over with podcasting. That's what she said.
You gotta strike while the iron is hot too, because fucking podcasts and the way attention spans are with the general public anymore, you know, podcasting could be a fucking old thing in a year. God, well, the way people are
it
anymore.
Already is kind of old. Like people
it's been around for a while. It's just now getting its comeuppance, if you will.
Yeah.
The spotlight's on it.
If I won't.
Yeah.
Well, then
I want to say that
when it starts getting cool, and then that's when it gets oversaturated, and then guys like us, we get lost in the fucking shuffle.
Yeah, but how can it really be oversaturated? I mean, like, it's not really competition.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to start a podcast because people that listen to mine can listen to yours.
That's true.
It's you choose when you want to hear it, you hear it, and then...
And people are probably listening to this at work with their earbuds in, bored as shit. So hopefully we're
I know that's when I listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so hopefully we're entertaining them and giving them something to...
It's not like playing shows. Like, I can't be at your show and then still see my show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
I just like...
So everybody listening, you should totally listen to a podcast sometime.
Yeah. Like another one. Not just this one. All of them. There's so many people out there.
Let's play another song. I'm so glad you guys came to hang out.
Thank you for having us.
Dude, for real.
Yes, thank you.
What
do you guys want to play?
Well, let's talk about Facebook. Is that where the best way to catch you guys is / the Kayfabe?
Yeah, to keep up with this pretty well.
You could probably search any social media site with hashtag the Denver Sessions and see something about you guys, maybe.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Hashtag the Denver Sessions.
And then there's somebody out. There's another band with the Denver Sessions, and it's KeyFob. I'll be pissed.
I would be livid.
My fucking.
And
go
they have a
see 'em.
song about putting love into a song and send it to somebody.
Yeah. We kick their door in and gets our royalty checks one way or another. If you don't know what I'm doing at home, I'm punching my
I can
palm.
only imagine what that sounds like.
Yeah. I wasn't fapping just now. It was more of like a violent threat.
The KeyFab. Yep, that's another one. There you go, Bob.
Damn it. Do the porn marketing.
Oh,
God, I think
Pornhub has like music now. I haven't put anything on there, but Pornhub has like, you can sign up as an artist. Please do that. Please.
I would love to somebody just fucking drilling somebody to one of my songs. Hell yeah.
I don't know. I just saw an article about how they wanted to like get into music, and I was like, that's incredible. Like, if they made it like a social networking site, oh my goodness,
Oh,
you
man.
know what I mean?
I heard something like, what is it, AshleyMadison.com or something, that it's like for married people to cheat on their spouses.
They promote adultery. That's
Yeah.
essentially what it is.
It's fucking crazy.
It's like the Tinder, well, if you will. You could just go cheat on your wife with somebody else's wife. That's what it is. I'm not really behind that. I don't condone that by any stretch. But
Well, Dr. Chris Ryan
But I'm not judging
says
anybody.
he wrote a book called Sex at Dawn that I want to read, haven't read, but he's out there. He's getting a lot of shit for it, but promoting that maybe humans weren't meant to be monogamous.
Now, see, I agree with that. I think like human nature is, you obviously
I disagree entirely.
your dick gets hard because you see a hot ass or whatever, you know. I mean, and that could go both ways, just
So-
like me.
So the Facebook page.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'll leave the iTunes link, and it's everywhere. Your songs are everywhere. Everybody, please listen. If you can't afford to buy it, go stream it on Spotify.
You're broke. If you can't fucking afford $4.99, then get your ass a job. All right. I'll be real with you. I got shit. We got bills out the ass, and we need you. We need that $4.99. We need it
On
to
the
add up.
contrary, if you can't afford to buy it, listen to it on Spotify. If you
Yes.
can't afford Spotify, message me on Facebook. I will email you their songs and not tell them about it. What
Hell
now?
yeah.
I'll,
At least we got a new listener, though.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
Lawyered.
Yes.
So thanks again.
He's like, I got you.
And please rate and review wherever you're listening to this podcast, wherever you're buying their album, and thank you for listening.
Yes,
listeners.
thank you.
Let's all send some love, you guys, through the microphone.
All right. We love you,
We love you,
listeners. We love you.
Love.
You're welcome for the love. Here's Sober by the Kayfabe. Thanks again for listening.
Thank you.
Can you feel that? When I look at you and you look at me, let's move. I've been drinking and I'm feeling good. Are you feeling me? Let's groove. And let me show you my world, show you my world, show you my world, show you my world. Come a bit closer, 'cause I don't wanna be alone. I don't wanna be sober. The fear of pain keeps me awake. And now you're telling me you're falling in love, and I ain't even trying to hear it as I round up my stuff. I'm a bad boy, bad news, I'll fuck up your life. If you knew what was good for you, you'd run for your life. Cause I will destroy you. But I adore you. So let's go, come and get a little closer. You say love is a battlefield, I say I am your soldier, but with two left feet. I march to a different drum. You say I'm like the rest of them, but baby, I'm a different one. Let me take take you out. Night on the shitty town, spinning trying to make you laugh like some kind of shitty clown. Go through all the trouble just for you to be my girl. I'll only want you for the night, though. Welcome to my shitty world.
World, 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 show you my world, 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 show you my world, 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 world,
Show you my world. Yeah. Come a bit closer. Cause I don't wanna be alone. I don't wanna be sober. The fear of pain keeps me awake.
Bartender, bartender, I need like 2 more fireball shots.
Yeah, just keep hurry up. Hey, which one of you ladies is coming home with me tonight?
That's rhetorical. I know you're all good. How much is that?
Just be happy with the tip I gave you, damn it. Come a bit closer.